got to start holding ourselves holding one another accountable. Don't nobody want to be held accountable.
Yes, I agree with
We
that.
got to put. It's time for a revolution.
Mm-hmm.
It's time enough. It's time for action. Got to push these folks out of the way because you're just taking up space. You know, it ain't about no longer. It ain't about kissing the butts of white supremacy. That's what a lot of them doing now.
Right.
There's too many scared black people in Atlanta in leadership positions to do the right thing and speak out against injustice.
And so you were suggesting, even for leaders, to just get involved, to find out what's going on for things like for fighting for things like your son and just injustices, and get involved.
Yeah. Well, I done met with some of the top pastors from Jamal Brown and Newburgh.
Okay.
From Shannon Jones, a concerned black clergy.
Okay.
From Sean Smith. I met with a lot of pastors, and I think they don't too much. You know, people say anything behind them four walls, but when you come out here in these four walls, it's a different story. I think, and I was a little disappointed. For the first time in this fight, I was disappointed because when Cynthia died and we have each other's number, then not one of them called and offered their condolences. You know, and they know the reason. So, but I know you just have to go on. I think we just have to. We got to do more holding each other kind of strategize. We have to get these pretenders out the way.
Yeah.
Because they're pretenders, and you know, God didn't give us a spirit of fear,
right,
but a power and love and a sound mind. So stop saying what God had for you is for you, and we know that's true.
Right.
Stop saying that, and you know, there's a lot of these people. Stop straddling the fence. That's what I say to them. Because a lot of them want to straddle the fence.
Okay.
But when it comes, it's something about police brutality. I don't know whether they're making money. These organizations making money off of these black bodies. I don't know what it was. I know a lot of money from the police unit getting dumped into a lot of these organizations, faith-based churches. And it's a lot of things going that tie into that, but it's time for us. We got enough money. We got enough.
Right.
You know, we got to realize, like I said, we got to realize the power that we have.
Yeah.
And stop depending upon other people. As long as we depend, ain't nothing get done.
Yeah, it's true. You know, a lot of people can say a lot of things about social media, and I remember you saying a little while ago how Keisha Bottom, former Mayor Keisha Bottom, had a relationship with the news outlets and things, and how people suppressing. And what I do know that for centuries and forever and ever and a day, that they do pick and choose on what they want to put on what they want to air. But the one thing about social media is everybody has a platform, and and so I do like the playing field of that all, because even if the news don't want to report it, we can still kind of push it. It may be harder, but we can push it ourselves.
That's right, and that's why we appreciate you, and there's a lot of other people out there that have the platform, because the news is gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah, they're gonna.
And they got to answer to somebody. And so as long as and it's always one sided, because the first thing they put out, that's what everybody gonna go to.
It's true.
That's what everybody going.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who believe that the news is everything. The news say is word, is word, but. And I'm not saying that a lot of it is not. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. What I'm saying is that you should be able to check your facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't do it. They just put it out there, and as soon as they put it out there, I can walk down the street. A lady can say, "I slapped her," and the news don't put it out just like that without investigating.
Yeah,
and people tend to go with the first thing put out there.
Yeah.
So
you know what I often think about on the news, and I don't know who they're polling all the time, but on the news, black people are always at the top of the worst list and at the last of the best list every time. And I was like, how is it that we're always the worst or the best? And on the best list we're the worst, and on the worst list we're always the best every time. So I don't know who they're polling.
That just show you, because systematic racism is people that they better look at it. Ain't that police brutality everywhere?
Yeah.
From the mortgage loans, from the schools to banking to the prison system. I mean, they everywhere. You know, it's always about ways how to try to keep us down. You know, and I think white supremacists is so much. They putting out all strings right now. Even trying to, how in the hell you gonna stop teachers from teaching? How you teach them about black history?
Yeah.
Come on, our history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people without knowledge of their history, original culture, is like a tree without roots. So
because they wanted to disappear.
We run it everywhere, but they don't want. And you don't want these teachers telling us about Come on, we've been knowing about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and a few others. Come on, let us learn our history.
Yeah, that's why it's important to teach it at home, because they're only going to give us.
Right.
They want us to learn about what they want us to learn about, to keep us maintained and in the box and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, let's talk about the petition.
Okay.
All right. So you want to tell us about your petition?
Well, we had a petition. It was drawn by Brittany Jones. John. I'm trying to figure out who Brittany was with. I ain't talked to her in so long. And it's a petition that asks people to sign.
Okay.
We're going to try to present it to Fulton County to help apply more pressure.
Okay.
And to Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis and Attorney General Chris Carr.
Okay. And
we're trying to get everybody to sign and everybody to share, so we can just try to get some to apply more pressure, because this man took my son's life, and he took it unnecessarily and unjustified, and just because he wanted to.
Yeah.
He lied, and just because he didn't have on a body cam, and just because Atlanta police stopped allowing their officers to join task force, and the officers have on body cam, I guess they thought that'll be enough for. We're not gonna accept no anything. We ain't getting the crumbs on the table. It ain't about no damn money.
Yeah.
It's about holding this officer.
I wonder, how did Ahmaud Arbery's mom get? Like, they had to go around, because the police department was policing themselves, and the DAs, they were all friends or knowing each other, whatever. How did they go around them in order to get maybe like the FBI or somebody to make a move? Like, I wonder what actions did they take in order to do that, and if you have maybe the same path. I'm not really sure.
It's because the pressure from the public.
Oh, okay. All right.
Pressure from the public. And see, I don't see Atlanta doing no different than what they doing now. With my son murder, the other murder. They doing the exact same thing them DAs and stuff did down there. They covering up. They covering up. They protecting each other. And now they doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
People may don't want to admit it.
Right.
But when you look at what the people did in the district attorney, Atlanta officials doing the same thing. What people don't want to say to it because they're black and these are black men.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I just, let me just kind of, because I'm going to wrap it up in a little while, but what I wanted to make sure that we just kind of give a totality of it again, because I mentioned this all at the beginning, but my guest today is Jimmy Hill, the father of Jimmy Atchison, who was a 21-year-old man accused of armed robbery, who was accused of armed robbery, and was later somebody came back later and said that was just not true. The police that gave the briefing of his before the police went in to serve his warrant gave a false presentation of who he was, and they went in with a different mindset, and the officer who gave the briefing was the one that pulled the trigger and ended up killing his son. And I think it's important to say it all again at the end, so that you can kind of understand why this man is fighting for his son every day, all day. And and why I just applaud your fight, why I feel your spirit, and I pray that that things go your way. So, okay, you mentioned the petition. That's something that we can do. If you are out there, if you have a smartphone, if you have a computer, a laptop, or anything that you can go on, we're asking you to go to Move On. Is it
Move On? And then you can also go to find out more about the story. You can go to Georgia. You go to YouTube, Jimmy Atchison, Atchison. You can go to Georgia Moms United. Georgia Moms United. That's a foundation started by Tammy, and it's different. I think that's Just for Jimmy. Go to Just for Jimmy.
Right.
Website, and you can find all the information you want. But it's important. This petition is very important.
Yeah.
It's very important to us.
And whatever, let's just say, if he did take the cell phone or whatever it is that the DA Williams or Willis. Fannie Williams say that Fannie Williams, she was not excited about, that she didn't like, whatever that was, that police still had the right. He had an oath that he was supposed to carry out. Your son deserved his day in court if that had, if that was to be the case. He deserved that. and because someone decided to take it in their own hands, and do that, should be held accountable.
It should be held accountable.
Should be held
I
accountable.
want to add this for you before we go.
Absolutely.
4 officers in a room had my son surrounded. One officer, like I said, say he raised his right hand. Another officer say he raised his right hand in the
That's
form
true.
of a gun.
I saw that in the report.
Yeah, he raised his right hand in the form of a gun. And another officer said, I'll complete the statement. Another officer said he had both his hands together.
Yes.
So, come on now.
So that's so inconsistent. 4 officers in a room, 4 people in a room, and you can't see. Everybody don't see what he did. His hands are the inconsistencies of the story are about his hands.
And then the thing of it is though, if my son, Officer Son King, you know the police, famous police saying, they kill, hide behind their bed and lights, they fear for their life. If Son King feared for his life, they would have feared for life. My son had so many bullet holes.
Yes, true.
And the shot that Son King shot my son, that was a kill shot right below I blown out of my. That was strictly a kill shot. You know, and according, I gotta say that Tom, I think his name Tom Burtness, they hired one of the top lighting experts in the country. And according to the police, the lighting in that room was visible, was very good.
Yeah.
And he interviewed some of the officers, and what happened, and they said that by the blood, he team of experts, by the blood splattered on the wall, the blood splattered on my son's clothing, they were able to determine that my son Jimmy actually had both his hands together, raising them up to surrender.
Yep. Was not armed or anything. And so I just want to thank you again for coming in.
Thank you. No, thank you.
I really appreciate your conversation today. I hope that someone listening, everyone that's listening, I hope you take a moment and sign the petition. And you know, if you are in a leadership position, if you have space in your time in your space, whatever it is that you want to call it, reach out to. Let's mention again.
You can give a number.
Facebook. Okay.
You can give a number. You can give a number. 404-551-6084.
404
551-6084.
551-80.
No, 6084.
Okay, all right.
6084.
You're going too fast. 404
551
551
6084.
6084. Reach out and try to help. Step in, get in when you fit in. These are not the times to just kind of sit back and relax anymore. As Jimmy was saying earlier, we need everybody to fight. We need everybody in the ring fighting for this whole cause, and not just this cause, but every cause. As I said before, he doesn't just fight for his cause. He's out there on the front line for everybody else. And so, with that said, I want to appreciate your time here again.
Thank you. And I also want to just thank to all the activists. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank all the activists. Thank you all the advocates and others from Maria Barnes and the B103 from Dr. Richie. Dr. Richie, and it's a lot more who always have found ways to help us up from the labor form.
Yeah.
And just different people. I just want to thank L.A. Pink from Street Rooms.
Okay.
Kiana Jones, Portia Miller,
Okay.
Dante Carter. There's been so many to help us in this fight, and I just want to just thank and to tell the families, y'all keep holding on and keep hanging in there.
Absolutely.
Justice gonna prevail.
Absolutely. All right. We will see you next time on. I never even mentioned myself. I'm Sheila. With quite frankly, I forgot. I just kind of got into the whole conversation, but it's been another real episode with Quite Frankly, and quite frankly, I hope I see y'all again. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.